Hey there, fellow homeowners, or should I say, mortgage payers. Ever lie awake at night staring at the ceiling and suddenly think, do I really own this place? You're not alone. It's a question that's crossed the minds of many, even after that glorious day when the last mortgage payment is sent. You cut up the credit card, pop the champagne, and breathe a sigh of relief. It's finally mine, you exclaim. But is it really? See, the concept of homeownership in our modern world is a bit like that buy one get one free deal at the supermarket. It sounds great on the surface, but then you realize there's always a catch. You might have the deed with your name on it, but there are these other little things called property taxes, zoning laws, and God forbid, eminent domain. And don't even get me started on HOAs. Those neighborhood watchdogs can make even the most mundane paint color choice feel like an act of rebellion. So buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the wonderful world of homeownership, where freedom and responsibility tango on a dance floor paved with good intentions and potential pitfalls. Okay, let's talk about mortgages for a second. Those delightful loans that let you buy a house but also make you question your sanity for the next 15 to 30 years. It's like renting an apartment, but instead of a landlord named Stan who wears socks with sandals, you've got a bank breathing down your neck. But hey, let's be real, most of us need a mortgage to buy a house. It's the price we pay for the dream of having a backyard barbecue, and not having to ask our upstairs neighbor to stop practicing the tuba at midnight, so you sign on the dotted line, promising to pay back the loan with interest, and boom, you're officially in debt. Don't worry, it's the good kind of debt, they say, the kind that builds equity and all that jazz. But still, debt is debt, my friends, and it casts a long shadow, even on the sunniest of homeownership days. Now let's fast forward to that magical moment when you finally pay off your mortgage. You did it! You conquered the beast! Cue the confetti cannons and celebratory interpretive dance. You rip up that final mortgage statement feeling lighter than you have in years. The house is yours, free and clear. But wait, what's that sound? Is that the government knocking at your door? Because even though you've slayed the mortgage dragon, there are still these pesky little things called property taxes. And guess what? They never really go away. Yep, that's right. Even after you've paid off every cent of your loan, you still have to pay the government for the privilege of living in your own home. Isn't homeownership grand? Ah, property taxes, the gift that keeps on giving. Every year, like clockwork, your local government sends you a friendly reminder that even though you might hold the deed, they still have their hand in your cookie jar. Now, I'm not saying property taxes are inherently evil. They do fund important things like schools, roads, and those adorable fire hydrants that dogs just can't resist. But the system can be a bit, well, let's just say it doesn't always feel fair. Property taxes are usually based on the value of your home, which means if you live in a desirable area with good schools and a thriving llama yoga scene, you're going to pay more. And don't even get me started on how those property values are assessed. It's a mysterious process involving algorithms, market trends, and probably some dude in a windowless office throwing darts at a board. Section 5 Zoning Laws and Building Codes, the invisible hand of regulation. So you've tackled the mortgage, you're diligently paying your property taxes, and you're feeling pretty good about this whole homeownership thing. But hold on a second, because the government's not done with you yet. Oh no. They've got a whole arsenal of rules and regulations designed to keep your homeownership dreams in check. Enter zoning laws and building codes. These little gems dictate what you can and can't do with your property. Want to paint your house neon pink with purple polka dots? Check with the zoning board first. Thinking about building a tree house for your pet squirrel? Make sure it meets building codes. Now I get it, these rules are there for a reason. To prevent chaos, ensure safety, and maintain some semblance of order in our neighborhoods. But sometimes it feels like the restrictions can be a bit much, you know, like, I just want to put up a tiny fence for my pet tortoise, Brenda. Is that really so much to ask? Section 6, Eminent Domain, when your home is no longer yours. Now for the real kicker in this whole homeownership shebang, eminent domain. This is the government's trump card, the ultimate power play that can make all those other restrictions seem like child's play. Eminent domain is the government's right to seize private property for public use, even if the owner doesn't want to sell. They offer you what they deem fair market value, and you're basically forced to take it or leave. It's a tough pill to swallow, and it highlights a stark reality. Sometimes even when you think you own something free and clear, you really don't. Now, to be fair, eminent domain is usually used for projects that benefit the greater good, like building highways, schools, or that new Arby's everyone's been clamoring for. But it still raises some important questions about the balance of power between individuals and the state. Section 7. Home ownership, a symbol of the American dream. We've talked about mortgages, taxes, zoning laws, and even the looming threat of eminent domain. It's enough to make you want to sell your house and go live off the grid in a yurt, right? But before you do, let's talk about the bigger picture. Home ownership, for all its complexities and frustrations, is often seen as a cornerstone of the American dream. It represents stability, independence, and a sense of community. For many, owning a home is about more than just having a roof over their heads. It's about putting down roots, building a future, and creating a legacy for future generations. It's about that feeling of pride you get when you stand in your living room, look around and say, "This is mine. I did this." Section 8. The future of ownership, trends and challenges. So, where do we go from here? The concept of homeownership is constantly evolving, shaped by economic forces, social trends, and technological advancements. The rise of remote work, the increasing cost of living, and the growing popularity of minimalist lifestyles are all factors that are influencing how people think about homeownership. Will traditional single-family homes become a relic of the past, replaced by co-living spaces, micro-homes, and virtual reality retreats? Will we see a shift towards more sustainable and community-focused housing solutions? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The future of homeownership is sure to be interesting. Section 9. So, is your home really yours? A final thought. So after all this, you're probably wondering, do I really own my home? Well, the answer, my friends, is complicated. You see, homeownership is a bit of a paradox. It's a symbol of individual freedom and autonomy, but it also comes with a whole host of responsibilities and limitations. You might hold the deed, but you're also beholden to the rules, regulations, and economic forces that shape the world around you. It's a balancing act, a constant negotiation between your rights and the rights of your community. Ultimately, the question of whether or not you truly own your home is a philosophical one. But hey, at least it's something to ponder while you're mowing the lawn or unclogging the toilet, because even if it's not always easy, even if it comes with a whole lot of strings attached, there's something undeniably satisfying about having a place to call your own, even if it's just for